Okie dokie, boys and girls, it is day 12 of overcoming injuries, and today I feel like, I have a bit of a new realization about treating injuries, especially overuse injuries, which my injury inside of the ankle is essentially just a simple overuse injury. After the 70 kilometers in Japan, I kept on running. I even started running quite quickly, quite fast paces, and at the same time I was also squatting, which resulted in the inside of my ankles hurting, which, well, sounds obvious afterwards, but in the, in the moment, it's not always easy to see, right? But anyway, that being said, I realized something new regarding the rehab, because what I've always heard is it's fine to have pain during your rehab, and I think it's still true. It's okay to experience a little bit of pain during your rehab as long as you're feeling better the day after. But in the case of an overuse injury, well, if the pain is coming from doing the same movement that you've been doing, which you have to let recover, then I don't think it's a good case. Like, doing strengthening exercises and experiencing a bit of pain is fine, but for me, the movement that hurts is having my ankle bend forward, basically, or having my ankle bend in general, right? During the squat, for example, when you go down, your knee goes in front of your toes, and the ankle bends in the process, and that is what is hurting my ankle. At the same time, during running, when you land, your ankle goes inside a little bit. That is what's hurting the ankle. And so it's an overuse injury. But at the same time, I've been trying to do, squats every day, the Hindu squats, in order to get a little bit of a leg stimulus anyway, right? And even though the Hindu squats, they don't hurt a lot, or they don't hurt at all in most cases, sometimes I will just, feel like a super light pain shooting to the ankle. And oftentimes when I have done more Hindu squats than I would do on a daily basis in general, aka on leg day, I will do more squats, then I feel it more the day after. And again, it's not bad to feel pain up to 24 hours after you've done something, but the fact that I'm doing it every day basically means that my body is never reaching a fully recovered state, which is necessary for your injury to heal, right? So that's something you have to be very careful with. I think it's very good to do daily movement. I think it's very good to basically focus on what you are still able to do. But I also think honesty is a very important factor in that, honesty with yourself. And that's something that I've been lacking. That's just some self-reflection. I don't know if this information is helping you, the viewer, but I've not been honest enough with myself, because I knew from last week already, like, hey, sometimes I feel pain in my ankle during the Hindu squats, and still I was doing them, right? It's one thing to, think about something, but another to realize it. And so what I've realized is, well, still, daily movement is good, but, the main factor there is you have to do that daily movement, like the general training, the blood flow. If you can do it completely pain-free, I feel like that's where the benefit's at, because then you're getting blood flow, you're bringing nutrients into the area, and then, well, it gets stronger, right? If it's not painful, if you don't feel pain, then basically your body is teaching you that you can go ahead, right? And so do that, right? Keep moving, keep doing whatever you are able to do without any pain, and then on top of that, sometimes you can sprinkle in a little bit of things, strengthening exercises, movements that you're not used to anymore, to teach your body that it's fine again. But again, those should be very limited. So going forward, what am I changing? Well, basically you're seeing me doing some lunges. I'm gonna just find movements that are completely fine, completely pain-free, that are still allowing my legs to move. And I feel like through doing so, right, I will be able to strengthen my ankle the correct way. Because if I feel pain somewhere, then I think unconsciously you're gonna start compensating, and that's not how you heal an injury, right? But yeah, that's, I guess, generally how recovery works, right? And something I want to talk about as well is, I guess I will move on to the push-ups I did today. But when it comes to pain, obviously, and overuse injuries, obviously, you have to be careful. You have to allow your body to recover. And it's the same thing for muscle soreness, but I feel like, the approach there can be a little bit different, because as long as you're not feeling pain. Again, right, when you're just feeling muscle soreness, you don't feel any weird pain during the movement. And so I guess the same rule applies there, where, just as long as your body is not telling you to stop with pain signals, but rather you just feel some fatigue, it's fine to get a bit of a stimulus in, right? So I was doing push-ups today, even though I was still sore from last workout. And well, a question you get asked, or I get asked often is, well, is it fine to basically train when you're fatigued or you feel soreness? I think it is, just in the sense that, right, do it a bit lighter, because the stimulus is still gonna benefit, right? If I do push-ups 1 time a week, then basically I don't know how to do a push-up anymore when I do the next training, because it's been such a long time. So what I try to do in between, even if I feel like soreness, is to just get a light stimulus in. And the way I do that is basically the same way you would treat that injury, right? If you want to keep moving despite an injury, you're going to control the movement. And that's something I do with muscle fatigue as well. So you see me doing the Japanese push-ups because I want to get a stimulus for the Japanese push-ups, but I basically put on a metronome timer, 60 beats per minute. So I'm doing 1 push-up every second. I'm doing it at a not slow, but slower and controlled pace. And this basically allows you to trigger the muscles in the right fashion. It allows you to, or it forces you to do reps more correctly. You're not able to use momentum. And, basically, quote unquote, it's the more scientific approach. And by doing that approach, even though you can push yourself quite far, you're not pushing yourself as far as you would just hammering away in your usual manner, right? And so, yeah, that's basically some things I've been thinking about, recovering from overuse injury, but also like stimulating the muscle even though it's still tired. So, yeah, that's gonna be it for today's workout. Tomorrow's gonna be a pull day, and I'll see you then. Let's go.